Katie, thank you so much for taking time to join us on the KCME Culture Zone.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Your latest CD features music of George Gershwin, Rhapsody in Blue. Now, the performance coming up on Sunday, September 28th also features Debussy, Beethoven, and Liszt. But Gershwin was with you from the beginning, from what I understand.
Yes, and actually my program also features Rhapsody in Blue, so
Yes.
I will be playing that on the program. I'll be finishing the program, actually, with that piece.
That's your own transcription as well.
It is, yeah. I've loved Gershwin my whole life. You know, it was one of my first experiences. I heard a concert when I was 4 years old, and there was a performance of Gershwin, and it really inspired me. So, you know, it was one of my first favorite composers. So it's kind of music that's been with me my entire life.
So that performance you attended was by Katya and Mariella Lebec, music of Gershwin. Was that the very first concert that you attended?
I'd been going to concerts ever since I was as old as I can remember. Actually, one of my very, very first concerts that I attended was, I saw the Magic Flute when I was 2 years old. My parents took me to Central City, and I still remember the opera, you know, seeing the Queen of the Night come down. And, you know, music was always really, really important and really the center of my life. But, you know, when I was 4, somehow or other, it just clicked with me, and I just decided that I guess I was ready to play the piano. My mom had wanted to start me at an earlier age, and I just didn't have a lot of interest. And then all of a sudden, you know, we went to this concert, and I told my mom the next day that I wanted to be a pianist, and so I actually started the next day. So,
may I quickly mention your website, Katie Mahan, and that's KatieMahan.com. It contains information about your upcoming concert dates, music clips, video clips, and you also have about 8 CDs, including your latest one. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
You live in Denver right now. Are you a Denver native?
I am. I was born in Denver, and I still live here about half of the time. The rest of the time I'm in Europe.
To back up a bit and talk about your time in France with Pascal Roger, you may have mentioned this already, but how long did you stay in France and study with Roger?
Well, he has a regular concert schedule, so basically the way we had to work the lessons was I would travel to and from and, you know, work with him as it fit his schedule. So a lot of times it was in France. Otherwise, you know, I would play for him basically where it worked, because he's one of those performers that's always on the road. I think maybe if he's home a week a year, you know, that's probably maximum. So,
yes.
You know, we just made it work, and I studied with him for about 3 years.
Your latest CD is Rhapsody in Blue and features music by Gershwin, obviously, but also what other artists are you featuring on this CD? I do see, let me quickly mention Toru Takemitsu. When I think of him, I think of the music he composed for Akira Kurosawa, Japanese director. But what other composers are you featuring on your latest CD?
I also have some music of Debussy. I have the Image Book 2, and I have the Preludes of Gershwin, and I have 3 song transcriptions, and I have Rhapsody in Blue, and I have Debussy and Takemitsu.
You know, again, looking at your website, you also have a perfume inspired by Chopin's Etude No. 1.
Well, you know, I mean, in this day and age, as a classical musician, you want to do everything that you possibly can to get classical music out there to the masses. And, you know, I had an opportunity with a company that was interested in my music to create a perfume, and so it actually coincided with the CD recording that I did in Germany, an all Chopin CD. And so we launched the perfume at the same time as the recording project. So it was really exciting. And, you know, it actually, when I launched the perfume, I did a Chopin performance, and it's another way of introducing people to this amazing world of classical music. You know, and I think it's really important to do all these kind of, you know, new things that really get music to the general public.
So, Katie, what lies ahead for you?
Yeah, I mean, I love to have my concert schedule to continue building, to get more and more concerts. It's never easy. It's a very difficult profession. It's a lot of competition, and unfortunately, there's not as much money for the arts as there should be, so a lot of orchestras and concert series have gone away. But I love to perform and I love to travel, and so I hope that it will always continue to build. So next year I have a lot of performances in Europe, which I enjoy. I love being in Germany and in Austria and that part of the world. So, it's very exciting.
Well, you certainly seem to have a very busy schedule. I've been speaking to pianist Katie Mahan. Check out more about pianist Katie Mahan at her website, Katie Mahan, KatieMahan.com. Well, Katie, thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you very much for having me.